So we will do a walkabout, a talk about here at my house, which I'm a little bit afraid to share, right? But we're going to be in the garden and we're going to walk around, talk around, look around, be around, and explore with us. Pull this up, okay? All right? Because today is a day. Today is the day that the Lord has made, right? He allowed all of these things. I planned for some of these plants. Some of these plants came up on their own, and that's okay too, right? They self-seeded. I'll show you. This one self-seeded. I didn't put it in here, right? That's like God. Sometimes He puts us in situations and environments where, we will self-seed. We will grow despite the situation, despite where we are. He will grow. He will make us grow. Now I'm gonna tell you about my garden here, my home. I got a lot of different experiments going on. Take my finger out. A lot of different experiments going on, right? Maybe we are an experiment, but I got a lot of things going on. And in the experiments, I'm able to see things grow, mature, despite myself. Because the only thing that I can do is plant a seed. This is my favorite time of year. It's my favorite time of year because it's spring. Spring is springing and she has sprung. And she lets us know that God is most beautiful. Whether you believe in God or not, God is most beautiful. You have bees a buzzing. You have things are growing despite yourself. And so I'm very thankful. The climate of the world is very, very tumultuous. Very, very, I don't know what to say. Very, very scary at times. But all we can do as people is plant seeds, good seeds. And think about it. This little bed right here, this bed, I have planted very many seeds. And not all of them have sprung up and grown, right? But then I do have some that's trying to make a way, trying to grow, trying to be, okay? And that's just all of us in this moment. We have to stop and we have to breathe. And we have to allow for the sun to shine and for us to grow despite our situations and despite what's going on. All right. I don't like being on YouTube or exposing myself at all. But I'm realizing that God allows these moments for a reason, right? This is my garden. Welcome to my garden. I encourage you to go outside and stick your little finger in the ground and, and put a seed in there. And in your seed, you pray on it, and it might grow. And even if it doesn't grow, just know that you had good intent in planting the seed, right? So this is my garden. I have I have medicinal plants that I've learned about. Look at that. I've been fighting in this garden because I have a dog now. A little dog that comes, and if I don't cover this up, she'll dig all through that. She will. But then in the meantime, I keep going. I keep trying to grow. I have all kinds of plants that are coming in. It's springtime. It's the time for renewal. It's the time for growth. It's the time that God lets you have another chance. You know, it is. There's a lot going on in the world right now. Some people get depressed about it. I don't, right? I don't get depressed about what's going on. You want to know why? Because God allows all things, good, bad, and ugly. Look at that. My yard is not pretty. She's not a pretty girl. But at the same time, I have good things are growing. This right here is elderberry. And there are different types of elderberry. I have a big tree over there that's growing. I also have peach blossoms. Thank you. Now, can I also tell you, hi everybody who's in the room. Can I also tell you what's kind of sad to me? I got a pear tree. Look at him. Look at him. He is beautiful. But man, I've had him for a few years and he has not given me one pear. But I will not give up on him. The same way that the universe does not want us to give up on anything around us, right? It doesn't want us to give up on ourselves because we have to what? Sometimes we have to keep growing. We have to keep growing. I have other plants that I've never grown before, like this one. This is bok choy. Oh, look at there. Yeah. And then also God allowed me to have and create this crazy little thing, which is, and I need to clean her. I need to clean her because she's dirty, dirty. But I have fish in here. Lots and lots of fish. You see that? I don't know if you can see it, but look, I got fish in there. And I think a couple of them are about to have babies. God allows all things, good, bad, and ugly, right? But we have to be in a time and space to recognize that God is God. And we can't separate ourselves from the universe at all. We are a part of it. We are supposed to be stewards of the earth, right? We are supposed to be people who inhabit the earth. We live here, but we're supposed to take care of the things that are around us and uplift those things. And not only like plants and animals, but we're supposed to uplift one another in time and space, right? And so that's the only reason why I got on here today, is because I feel very thankful to God in time and space, right? That He allows us to be stewards, a steward of the earth, a trustee of the earth, a caretaker of the things that He has already provided, right? But we're supposed to love on the things. Every bud, every bloom, we're supposed to love on the things. It's not a bad thing to love on the things that God has provided to us. Because really, if we think about it, we're not even worthy of what He has given to us. We're not even worthy of the things that He has provided. Can I say, I'm not even worthy of what God has given me. And I'm thankful for my little itty bitty garden. And I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful for time and space. I'm thankful for the things that grow. Look at it. And don't grow. Everything doesn't grow that you plant. That's life too. But you have to be thankful. You gotta practice gratitude. You gotta move forward with gratitude with the little bit that you have, the little itty bitty that you have. And if you do it, imagine, right? I am a nothing, but I also am a something. But imagine that if we were to practice gratitude in the little itty bitty that we have, the world would be so much better, right? Right. For me, right. For me, I know it's right. I walk in and I look at my garden, I look at my being, and I look at my house. And I will take you through my house. Maybe I shouldn't. But there are good things that go on here. And my house is filled with plants, right? Filled with life, filled with beautiful things, things that I probably do not deserve, right? It's filled with the things that I don't deserve because God allowed it, right? I walk out into an environment that I did not for me, and God allows things for all of us. And that's true. God allows us to be who we are in time and space, even though we're not even worthy of what He is. I'm going to show you something. This right here, oh God, look at her. She's an angel with a broken wing, and I have to fix her. This is an angel that my godmom gave to me when a few years ago. And this angel is very, very old. Very, very old. She bought this angel for her mom years ago. Now I get the opportunity to have this angel a part of my life. This angel is very, very special because she bought it for somebody she loved, and then she entrusted me to have this angel. You know what I think about the angel with the broken wing? All of us are angels with broken wings. We just don't recognize the fact that we are angels. God allowed us to be in time and space. And so I love this angel because for me, I do need to fix her. I have all the components to fix her, right? And that's life too. I just haven't had the time to really do it. But I do have her under my caretaking, and I love her because she is the angel with broken wings. Sometimes we are angels that have broken wings, and we don't recognize it. We don't recognize it. And so, in moving along, you have the front yard. That's this. Thank you, Lord. And then you walk and you keep going. And all of these plants I've planted because I'm a crazy plant lady. So you got the box hedge, and that's what it is. And then you have the rosemary. Look at it. And I tap on her a lot because when I cook, I pull from her. But at the same time, it's like you keep going and you keep moving, right? And then you have the backyard. And I'm a person that likes to harvest plants and harvest things. But again, we'll go back here into the garden and we'll talk a bit and we'll sit a bit. But the garden is very important. It's very quintessential to who I am, to my life. It's quintessential what I'm about, right? God made dirt, and dirt don't hurt. Dirt don't hurt. Things in your life might hurt you, but dirt don't hurt, right? This is arugula, and look how pretty the flowers are. Look how pretty. And then there's snapdragon. That's snapdragon. And she's all over my yard, but this one is pretty old now. This one has been growing for me for about 3 years, and it always comes back. And then you got strawberries. Look at that. Thank you, Lord. Thank you from Oregon. Hello. Hello, Jess. Thank you. Thank you. And then there's all these beautiful things that God, I am growing everything out here. And some things that I have scattered out here I don't remember, but I can tell you some of the things that I can identify. So from the two the two things that come up like this. Okay, this is borage. Borage tastes like cucumber, but it has I am in Charleston, South Carolina. Okay. And so this is borage, and it has a taste of cucumber, but it has a beautiful blue flower that you can put in salads, and it's wonderful. That's borage. And then this is fig, and I've been getting fig from this tree for about 3 years now. And I'm gonna walk you over if you want, if you're inclined to. I'll walk you over. And this year I have blueberries. Let me pull it up. That's blueberry flowers. And for every flower that you see, there are blueberries. And it's wonderful. And this year they are very, very prolific. Look at that. I'm very excited. So there's lots of things going on in the garden. Everybody should garden. I also have potatoes that's growing out here. I've never grown potatoes at all. So look at that. That's a potato. Well, not a potato, but the top of a potato. And other things too, like onions and lettuce. And I've eaten out of this garden. I eat out of my garden a lot. There is catnip. I'm going to tell you something about catnip, y'all. Y'all think that cats like catnip, but if you suffer from insomnia, then what you do is you just snap a little piece of that off, right? And you can put it in a tea, or you can just eat it, and it helps with that. It helps you go to sleep. And I have a lot of different herbs in my garden that does different things. I got tomato, lots of them, lots of plants that are coming through. But again, it's really not really always about the plants for me. For me, I garden because it's therapeutic. I garden because it's something that's safe. The world is chaotic, right? But all you got to do is go outside and put your finger in the ground and plant something, right? And have good intent. Have good intent. All of these things will grow. They will grow if God allows it. But if He doesn't allow it, I can't get upset about it. I just have to be thankful that I was a part of the process, good or bad, right? Even with those fish, I have fish in the fish pond. Sometimes they come up, sometimes they don't. I got some that are having babies, I think. And they look at them, they swimming around. But I'm thankful for being a part of the process. I have a terrarium. Look at that. This little terrarium has been going on for about a year now. It sat outside even when it was cold, and it still lived. I turn it around if I can. If I can. It's been growing for a little minute. Life in a jar, I call this one. That's my experiment. My godmom gifted me this jar from her childhood, and then I thought, why not turn it into a terrarium, right? And it has plants that are actively growing, right? But then you also have plants that have died away during the winter because it stayed outside the whole time. And it keeps me connected to the bigger picture. Sometimes we lose the bigger picture, and then here we are. Oh, thank you for all of the blooms. I really wish that I can have peaches. I really do. Look at it. But again, I'm not a person that opens myself up to the world, but I can tell you that I'm very, very thankful for everything that God allows in time and space. Truly, truly, all of these things. Look at that. That's my terrarium. And I got two of them. I got one that lives inside, one that lives outside. And it lives, right? So we have to be cognizant and aware of who we are in time and space, what we present to the world. My little garden is not probably anything wonderful to anybody, but my little garden is wonderful to me. Why? Because this is the beginning of this garden. I've done it years and years. And yes, she might look pitiful and sad to some, but I know as time goes on, it will grow and it will flourish, and I will have different harvests. I've already harvested out of this garden. I've already eaten out of this garden. I've ate out of this garden. I've had salads and wonderful things out of here, even during the cold snap, to tell you the truth. And so maybe in that, maybe I can encourage someone to know that your garden might not look fruitful, right, to others, but it is. It is. And, it might not seem like what it should seem like to others, but don't worry about that. Just keep going. Just keep going and knowing the fact that if God allowed you to plant a seed, He allowed you to plant a seed, He allowed that seed to grow. Even if it doesn't look like what others look like, even if it doesn't feel like others' gardens should feel like, that, He will allow a harvest in your due season, especially for you. He will allow a harvest in your due season, especially for you, right? Don't compare yourself to the rest. My garden doesn't look like anybody else's garden, right? My yard doesn't look like anybody else's yard. My space does not look like anybody else's space, but God has allowed it. No pressure, right? You will reap a harvest if you sow a seed. If you sow a seed, right? And be real with it and intentful and not angry. God wouldn't allow these things. I didn't know how to do these things. I didn't. I have fish. Look at that. I have fish. I have fish in there. Lots of fish, honestly. And I think some that are about to have babies. Who would have thought that I would be caretaker, a steward of the earth like this? And I enjoy it. Even though, the world around me is very tumultuous, even though the world around me tells me that I'm happy about my garden. I'm happy about where I am despite the chaos. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about these trees. These are kumquat trees. And I'm going to tell you why these kumquat trees are so special to me. They came from the seeds of a kumquat, which means they weren't even a tree. They weren't even a tree. But the reason why I have these is because I was a caregiver and I speak his name. I speak his name, Stephen Goodson. He was a doctor, right? And I was able to take care of him. And from the seeds of the kumquat, I planted this one and that one and then another little one. And it's been years now and he's passed on, but these trees live. And so when I see these trees, I really think of him and I'm thankful for him, right? But I got a lot of things going on in this yard. I really can't remember where I planted all the different seeds. I'll tell you what this is. This is a mulberry tree. I know what that is. But I got things going on all through this yard. Spring is my very, very, very favorite time of year. My yard looks terrible. I have dogs. I love my dogs, but they create paths. See that? That's a dog path. Dog paths. But then I love them very much because they mine, and God let me have them. But this right here, I had to put together because I have a new puppy, and she's a digger. And if I didn't have that right there, she would have dug all across it. She did it twice. I've never had a new puppy to know that they do that. I didn't know that puppies like dig across your gardens. I did not know. And so she does that. But I love her. But I had to find a way without caging everything off to like just be like, no, don't do that. But she's sweet. Um, so there's these wonderful things. And so I'm very thankful for what God has allowed for me in time and space. Now, this bed right here, yesterday I came out and I transplanted plants in, but there were plants already in here. So I'll tell you. So these strawberries, these strawberries were here since last year. And honestly, truth be told, there were strawberries all along that rim, all along there. But because I have a puppy, a new puppy, she kind of is what it is. It happens. But I would like to continue on being open and honest and real and pure, even though it's kind of foreign to me. I don't, I can be honest with anybody in the street, but it's kind of weird to be online and do this. But for me, I like planting and I like growing and I like seeing things grow and I like being a part of the process. And we all should. We all should like being a part of the process of growth, especially in times like this. So that's just it. That's just me sharing this little pitiful little garden, but I love it so much because God allowed it. He allowed it, and I'm not sad about it. I'm not sad about anything that He's allowed. I'm not sad about anything that God has allowed. If He has allowed it to happen, I'm thankful. If He has allowed me to be a part, look at that. Those are potatoes. I never planted potatoes in my life. So I'm very excited about what the potatoes are going to do. What are the potatoes going to do? This Arugula. I'm going to tell you about this. If you let arugula flower, the bees love it. It's a pollinator. So if you have plants like that, let them flower because the bees need it. We need to help the bees. They are pollinators. But if we cut everything down before they pollinate, before they flower, they can't they can't get the nutrients that they need to do what they need to do to help us. And then at on the flip side is with this, look at it. I have all of these little seed pods. So honestly, in retrospect, I will not have to buy seeds now because I allowed this plant to do what it was naturally meant to do. It was naturally meant to do that. Just like this is Snapdragon. Look at it. So beautiful. And it's gonna bloom because it's meant to bloom. Strawberries. Strawberry. Strawberry. I think that we are so desensitized that we can do anything and grow anything, whether it's in a pot like this, because this is in a pot, or whether it's in the ground, you know. Most people are meant to be growers of things, and most people are meant to be stewards of things, and most people are meant to be caretakers of things. But the way that the world works right now, the way that the world works right now, we're being desensitized. We're being desensitized from the things that we're meant to do. You know, people want us to play a role or be a part of a role. I really don't care to be a part of a role. I just care to be a part of the real nature working of the thing. I'm a natural being. And nature, look at that. It's spring. And another thing. Now look at this. I gotta recognize this. Look at this. It's spring, right? Look at that. Look at that one. This one didn't put on any leaves at all. And one would be sad because you want everything in your plant to grow. But I have to let that piece go and be okay with that to let the rest live and thrive. So, yeah, it's just me sitting, being. It's okay. Walk and talk. My yard is not probably the most beautiful yard, but it's springtime. I don't really probably have a lot of political things to talk about. I really don't care to talk about the political stuff because it's weighing on me. The world is weighing on me. Everything that's going on right now, the climate is weighing on me. But the best thing that I can do is see that there is peace in the world if we so choose. There is love in the world if we so choose. There is understanding if we so choose. But it's like I cannot put my energies into negativity. I refuse to put my energies into negativity. I won't do it because I will not be a part of the program of that. I choose to be a part of the program of love and understanding and seeking, right? And being open and cognizant that once I put my feet on the ground and I ground myself and I lift my hands up to the gods in the universe above me, that it will give me direction, right? It will give me peace. And that's what I look forward to. The peace. the peace that is beyond understanding. I mean, come on. Come on. We look for people to give us validation. And I just talk into a room that's empty, but it's okay. We look for people to give us validation. We look for groups to give us validation without knowing what validation means within ourselves. The simple fact that God allows you to wake up, to breathe, to be a part of the algorithm of life, that's validation. You didn't wake up dead. And I don't even know what that means to wake up dead. But you didn't. He gave you a chance to love. He gave you a chance to plant seeds. He gave you a chance to grow. He gave you a chance to fall and fail. Some people don't like that either. Some people don't like falling and failing. Falling and failing. What does that mean? That means that every day is not going to be a bright day for you. That means that every day is not going to be sunny for you. But in the falling and the failing, you have to recognize that God allows it all. And you got to recognize that there's a higher being than yourself. If you recognize that there's a higher being than yourself, then you have so much more peace, right? Because if you recognize that there's a being that allows everything that transmits through your universe to happen, everything. So that means when you wake up and you say, "Oh, this was a bad day." It's not a bad day. Your day is never bad. The simple fact that you woke up means it's a good day. Because other people did not have the opportunity to wake up, right? But even in the transitioning throughout your day, if things don't go your way, just know that there's a higher being that allowed it. A higher being that allowed it. A higher being that let you know that, yo, you are real. You living, you breathing, buddy. You still alive. It's not always going to be good, but you are here. I'm very thankful despite anything that I might feel or whatever thing that anything that I might be going through. I'm very thankful. That's the only word that I have for today is just being thankful. Because when you look at the bigger picture and you pull yourself back and realize that life is not always about you and how you feel and what you think, the greater picture is that the simple fact that you're here, be thankful. And in being thankful, share goodness. And in being thankful, try to be as positive as you can be. And in being thankful, share love despite how you feel. Because sometimes you will wake up and you will not want to be loving, honest. Sometimes you will wake up and you will not want to be loving, honest. But set that feeling aside because that's just personal. And know that God made you and ordained you and set you aside in this time and space to be who you are, to be a light, to be a light, to be a light. When you look at the world around you, the landscape, and you realize that some people didn't even make it into today, huh? They didn't even realize that a bomb would be dropped on them. They didn't even realize that someone would come into their space and take their life away. Then that should encourage you to be loving, to be kind, to do the best that you can to share that and implement that. and your comings and your goings. And so that's really all I really wanted to say today. I don't like coming on here, but if the world can spread chaos and nonsense, then even in my ramblings, I can spread love. And so my my challenge to you, anybody who watches this, is to share love, to be a light being. See that light? That light is overpowering. That's the light. And it makes all these things grow. But for me, I would ask that you share love, you be a light despite whatever you're going through. The whole world is going through, right? Are going through, huh? But if you share love, if you be loving, God not will not only bless you, but God will also bless the person that you share love to. And if we all were like dead set on that, if we all were dead set on being loving, I really don't think the world would be the way that it is, right? I really don't think that if we just push forward to just show love despite our situations, despite yourself, be loving, be kind. You know, we kind of draw to the things that's very negative. We draw to drama. We draw ourselves to chaos. We draw ourselves to foolishness. But then with love, unceasing love, right? I love you. Even though I might not never know you, never meet you, never see you, but I love you. And I hope that you practice love and and share it amongst yourself and amongst others, even strangers. It's hard to sometimes because we don't want the rejection and the pushback, but do it. It's meaningful.